Montana Fouts has thrown 4 straight complete games dating back to the championship series, going out there looking to throw up another good outing against this Spark offense.
Yes, and just in her last start, she was incredible. She got off to a slow start, got in a little trouble in the first inning, but then she made some adjustments and then just was cruising through the rest of the game.
Montana Fouts will face the league's best offense. The Oklahoma City Spark, Maya Brady, Sydney Romero, and Delaney Wiz lead the charge, responsible for over 80% of the Sparks' runs through the first 9 games of the season. And you will not have to wait very long to see the matchup we have all been waiting for. It's Montana Fouts, it's Maya Brady. They're ready. Let's do it from Salt Lake City. A first pitch from Montana Fouts low to the league's hottest hitter. 15 professional games for Maya Brady. She's had a hit in all 15 of them dating back to last season. Swings at the low pitch. Here's Beal across the diamond just in time to get the speedy Maya Brady. Could we see an early challenge?
I think we might see an early challenge because this may be your best chance is to get Montana Fouts early in the game. But Maya Brady, speed.
So they will take a look. The call on the field out on that throw from Beal across the diamond to Kaylee Wyckoff, getting the start over at first base.
Just take a look here. That's tough. But Maya doing a good job of touching the front part of the bag.
And that ball does have to fully settle into that glove. I don't know, Natasha. Bang, bang right there.
Oh, man. That's a tough one. Let's see. Hard to see where the ball is on that angle.
The call at first base stands. The runner is out. This is the Sparks' first challenge with 1 remaining.
So unlike in the collegiate game this past year, where if you won the challenge, you would keep it. The Spark losing the challenge there. They will be down to 1 challenge remaining, and a nice play by Taylor Beal. Has not been on this team long, but has already had a big impact defensively. As Montana Fouts throws a first pitch strike to Sydney Romero. So yes, you got to go through Maya Brady, but then you have to get through Sydney Romero, who's, it feels like, has been on base every time she comes up.
Yeah, and just the tag team with her, Maya Brady and Sydney Romero back to back is a combination that I just really like. Just big hitters, no breaks in the 1-2 holes.
Romero's sluggish start, hot lately. Montana Fouts been absolutely rolling so far this year. Came in with a 2.04 ERA. Talons could be set to, in the coming days, get Georgina Korick back, the pitcher of the year a season ago, but Montana Fouts could be the pitcher of the year this year if she continues on this trajectory.
Absolutely. I mean, just the way that she was throwing the other night was electric, and she continued to get better as the game went on. Her in-game adjustments, we got to talk to her in the chair chat the game after, but she was just saying, you know, that first inning, they were on me. I had to start to change the eye levels a little bit more. So her ability to make quick adjustments is the reason why she's having so much success.
Full count pitch, and Romero swings through the low one. It's a first strikeout for Montana Fouts.
This is where you're going to see a difference from Montana Fouts. Usually in this 3-2 count, you're going to see her try to challenge either down or up, but she's relying on her drop ball a little bit more this year and picks up her first strikeout of the night.
Close to a 30% whiff rate. That swings on that drop ball this season. It's been the great equalizer. Has such an ability to work up and down, really all over the zone. Delaney Wiz swings at the 0-1. Moore comes in and drops it. And Wiz is going to be at second. A costly mistake from a Talons team that now has the most errors in the league.
Yeah, and this is a tough play right here. Maddie Moore calling this ball right at peak flight. Just take a look. But looks like it's almost like she lost it at the last second, and her glove was in her eyesight, in her eye line. And so as a defender, you want to make sure you keep space and keep room between your glove and your face.
There's Moore's team-leading third error of the year. We mentioned this Talons defense that was so good a year ago has been a little shaky in the early going. Maybe some of that is because some of the pieces that they're missing. Here's Bubba Nichols, Camarena. She delivered the game-winning hit in Game 3 versus the Cascade. Hit it off the glove of Megan Grant over at third. A little Bruin-on-Bruin crime out there in Portland. Big series win for the Spark. That one fouled back to the netting. It's 2-2. The Spark team struggling a little bit early on in that series against Portland with runners on, but boy, did they heat up late. They win 2 out of 3. It's a huge momentum series for this Spark side.
And you can see Montana Fouts. She's starting to go to that rise pitch before, trying to split the zone. So she tunnels her rise and her drop very well.
9 a second K. Nichols Camarena spoils one. These two have a little bit of history. Montana Fouts facing that UCLA team that Nichols Camarena was on multiple times during her career, including a perfect game against the Bruins.
Yeah, it's a game that we all remember. Seems like 1,000 years ago, but I can remember it like it was yesterday. But Montana Fouts just electric that night. Happened to be her birthday.
Yeah, 21st birthday, throws the 5th perfect game in Women's College World Series history. 3-2, driven and foul. What are the Spark doing well against Fouts early?
They're swinging. They're swinging early. They're swinging early in the count. They're being aggressive. But what Montana's doing well is she's throwing that drop and rise in those hitters' counts.
Nichols Camarena holds up, works the walk, and the inning continues for Sydney Sherrill. Traffic on the base pass for the Spark here in the top of the first. Statistics will say this is the best time to get to Montana Fouts. Early, deeper she goes in the outing, the better she gets. As Sherrill comes up swinging at the first pitch.
And exactly there, just being aggressive. That's a curve. If I'm Sherrill, that's exactly what I'm hunting, is that curve. That's Montana's go-to.
That's high, pop in the mid there at 70 miles per hour. That's equal to about a 95 to 98 mile per hour fastball in the MLB. 60 feet 6 inches in the MLB, just over 40 feet here in this circle as Fouts gets ahead.
And that's curve on the outer half. But the difference from that first curve to this curve is the location of it, the precision. So first curveball a little bit higher. This one she places just a little bit lower. So when you're hunting, she's changing the eye levels.
Just off the plate. Smokey Eds, who by the way has an incredible name behind the plate, calls that one a ball. Twos are wild. And Sherrill fighting hard against the Talons ace. Sherrill, the primary second baseman for this Spark team this year. Gets the 2-2, grounds it to short. Beal has to use the cannon and retires Sherrill to get out of the jam. Montana Fouts gets the ground ball. Works out of trouble here in the first. Take a look at Cindy Ball-Malone's lineup, but first a look at Ruby Mayland in the circle, coming off her first save as a pro in Game 3 against the Cascade. They could use another strong start from the rookie.
Yeah, yesterday she came in to close and just was on a high, so they decided to roll with her today and hopefully continue that momentum into today's start.
Mayland could be trying to earn her spot on this roster with some big weapons coming back from Japan shortly. A look at the Talons lineup. Kaylee Wyckoff, a reserve pool call-up, has been fantastic since coming up, starred at Arkansas, and now may have solidified herself on this team moving forward. Aaliyah Andrews will lead things off against Ruby Mayland on a first pitch ball out of the right-hander to Aaliyah Andrews, who got off to a great start to the year, had hits in her first 5 games. A little quiet in Texas, but did have a big hit late in that series, as she sends that one down the left field line.
Yeah, late in that series, she had a hard slap, and she was finding ways to get on base. She walked a couple times, but just a really methodical leadoff hitter. She'll see a lot of pitches.
Tasha Watley, Noah Frary. Tasha, you were a great slapper back in the day. That's something that Aaliyah Andrews has built her game around. What's the key?
The key is to be in control when you go into the box, especially off of someone like Ruby Mayland. She has a lot of movement up and down, so you want to be nice and controlled in the box.
Andrews goes the other way. Romero gloves it and just gets the speedy Andrews at first. Grew up loving watching Derek Jeter. I can relate. Sydney Romero has been great out at shortstop this year for the Spark. What can we expect from Mayland?
Ruby Mayland is predominantly a drop ball pitcher, and the last year she started to create a rise ball and has been able to split the zone vertically going up and down. She also has an incredible changeup as well. She'll slow it down for you as well.
So she keeps you guessing at the plate.
Yes, she does.
Jadlyn Alchin swinging at the first pitch and following it off. Fantastic story a year ago. Comes up out of that reserve athlete pool, earns her spot on the team, and man, has she been good lately since they moved her up into the 2 spot in this lineup. I really like that move.
Yes, I kept saying it last series that I just really was behind that move. Just another speedster on the team. She makes things happen. She has aggressive at-bats. A couple stolen bases last weekend as well, so putting some runners in motion for the Talons.
Coach Watley has a nice ring to it.
Okay. Yeah, right.
Here's the 1-1. That'll catch the inside corner. You are going to get a chance, though, to put the coaching hat on in a few weeks at the Little League World Series Classic.
I'm a little nervous about that one.
Are you?
Yeah, you know.
It's because you're going up against Lisa Fernandez in the other dugout, right?
She's a mastermind.
Here comes the 1-2 to Alchin. It's high. Lisa Fernandez, the general manager of the Utah Talons, in the building.
There she is.
Always busy working the phone.
Yes, looking in the reserve pool. You know, that first series that we were here together, it was just incredible how she had both Kylie Wyckoff and Taylor Beal here overnight. She's working, always working.
Alchin pops one up, shallow left field. Nichols Camarena comes on and makes the catch for out number 2. She's had to, because this Talons team, despite being in first place by half a game, they've been banged up right now. 4 on the injured list. We heard just before first pitch tonight that Bri Ellis went on the injured list. She joins Hannah Flippin and Charlize Palacio behind the plate. Jada Coleman out in center. Bri Ellis forced to watch for the next couple of games. That's a big loss.
It is a big loss, and she was just starting to heat up too, and you can just see she's so comfortable in the box, had such a great presence. So tough to see her go down.
Hoping to get some of those pieces back quickly. Georgina Korik has been one of the best pitchers over in Japan this year. Heard we could see her in relatively short order. There's Jordan Woolery. You talk about people who are really starting to figure out the pro game. For me, Jordan Woolery's right at the top of that chart.
Yeah, and just being able to come in right away and make an impact. You can see 444 batting average, and just she's so clutch. She just always finds a way, puts together some pretty swings.
And ahead in the count here, 3-1 to a hitter that had 6 hits and 10 at-bats against the Texas Volts pitching staff over the weekend. Timeout called by the pitcher, Ruby Malin. Woolery tees off. Driven to right field. Will this ballpark hold it? Yes, it will. At any other park in the league, that one might have gotten out of here to right field, but Amari Harper had enough room to make the catch.
At her house in a barn, and her husband is her bullpen catcher. But the biggest focus this offseason for her was how to stay disciplined, how to feel her body, and ultimately how to be that competitor. And especially with Talons and all the injuries, competing is huge.
She has definitely done that. Will give up a base hit here to Jessie Warren to lead off the second. Gotta say, I feel bad for her husband Drew having to catch her bullpens.
I know, and I love seeing when she posts on social media and shows her working out. But I talked to her last week about how she's sharing on social media a little bit more, but her ability to continue to develop and to get the workouts in and do all the things that are necessary to be a pro athlete, she is the example that I would use when you're a couple years out of college to stay on the grind, especially when you're on your own, you're on your barn or wherever you are in the world. And so it's a testament to why she's doing so well.
Montana Fouts is one of the true faces of our game at the professional level. Let's put it out into the universe. She wants to pitch on that 2028 Olympics team as softball makes its return in LA. Natasha, how exciting is that? Not only do we have this fantastic pro league where we get to see all this talent, but to think about the return of softball on the international stage.
It is exciting. It is the most exciting thing, and I think what makes me the most excited is this league here is the runway to that, where in the years past we've just depended on the Olympics to be the thing that hits. And right now we're building stars. We're seeing a Montana Fouts pitch night to night, and we'll get to hopefully see her compete at the Olympics.
This AUSL loaded with people in that women's national team athlete pool, 29 in total across the 6 teams. A groundswell movement around this sport in recent years. As Madry's going, throw down, and a great tag from Taylor Beal. Savannah Jaquish put that one right on the money, and Beal able to get the speedy KK Madry.
Yes, and this is an example when all of the things go right. And on both sides, too, KK Madry, she is a speedster. But Jaquish wastes no time to get rid of that. And the tag by Beal, hey, not today, Madry.
Taylor Beal's done such a nice job filling in at short when Hannah Flippen went to the injured list. Hannah Flippen was out taking batting practice on the field. Could we see her come off the injured list? Certainly looked good out there. Flippen watching on, has the notebook, maybe getting ready for the next time she comes in.
Yeah, when we were watching BP today, I got to see her swings. I'm like, oh, yeah, she's fine. She looks good.
Certainly could be interesting, though, what that defensive alignment starts to look like, because Taylor Beal's done a really nice job and may have earned her spot on this roster for the foreseeable future. Here's Woolery across her body. 2 outs, and the defense looking good here in the second.
Yeah, and just so many options that you can do. Hannah Flippen, sorry, going back to talking about Hannah Flippen, but Hannah Flippen, she played second base in college, so that could be an option if you keep Beal. You know, there's a lot of versatility that you have here with the Talons that you can do.
Haley Lee at the plate. She was the Defensive Player of the Year a season ago. Hannah Flippin, 4-time Defensive Team honoree. That'll even the count at a ball and a strike to Haley Lee, getting the start at catcher today. Her and Delaney Wiz have split the PT at that position. Wiz at first base this evening. Was that a swing? They checked it first. Yes, it was. As Fouts gets ahead. Alex Leap ringing her up. Lee trying to get going at the plate. Here's the 1-2 from Fouts. Bounces in the dirt. Fouts going right at hitters here in this top of the second inning. Count moves full.
Just such great placement. I think that that's what Montana Fouts does so well, is just her placement. She's got so much control.
(3-2). Ground ball, foul. Oklahoma City doing a good job at seeing a lot of pitches off of the Talons ace. They've had 4 counts now, go 3-2. And Fouts has her second K. Lee goes down swinging, the bat went flying.
Great job. Sorry. You want to know why I heard Daddy hacked on that one? I heard SJ go, yeah, Carol. So, I don't know. But I need to still be disciplined.
Bubba Nichols-Camarena has been such a big piece for this Spark offense early on this year. Great out in left field as well. Played for the Bandits a season ago.
She's so funny. You know why Daddy hacked at that? She heard Savannah Jaquith say, yeah, Carol. So maybe she was thinking something on the outer half. She was sitting out. Caroline Jacobson plays right field.
And I would assume as a hitter, you're always listening for those little tells from a catcher, right?
Absolutely. And sometimes when catchers are loud, you can hear them shifting to their left and to their right. At this level, they're pretty elite, but in my younger days, you would definitely try to listen to see if you're getting something in or out.
Sometimes, though, those catchers can try to throw you off a little bit. Maybe do what she did there and say, hey, Carol, to get you thinking a little bit.
True. That does happen sometimes.
Kaylee Wyckoff's been a great story since coming in out of the reserve athlete pool. Sends one to left. Nichols-Camarena has a beat on it. Goes to a knee. Did she make the catch? Yes, she did. What a play down the left field line in foul territory.
Just the timing, as we're just talking about Bubba Nichols-Camarena. But this is what makes Bubba Nichols-Camarena so great. She is a versatile athlete, and just she goes all out all the time.
Talk about the defense, and for this Spark team, the #1 defense in the league. Just 4 errors on the season through the first 9 games. Savannah Jaquith steps to the plate. Going in a really nice way down in Round Rock, Texas. It struggled early on in the year, but starting to put it together.
Yes, in Round Rock, she was at the bottom of the lineup. So you would see her in the 7, 8, 9 hole, but was really starting to see, and so has worked her way back in the 5 hole.
Had 4 hits, her first home run of the year, 3 RBIs in the 3-game sweep of the Texas Volts. How about this? Every series the Talons have played in this year has been a sweep. They've been on the receiving end once. They've swept 2 teams this season.
But no fun for them when we were here.
No.
Got swept against Cascade. Just like nothing was going their way. And obviously some of the injuries we've talked about. Some key players getting off the roster.
2-1 misses outside, and I think it just goes to show you that I'm not sure there's a clear favorite in the league right now. We're going to get a bunch of new players back from Japan, people that you're familiar with, but the second half of this season is going to be a ton of fun.
Absolutely, and it can actually change at any moment. Anybody that you think is a favorite may not be.
Jakewish hits that a mile high into center field. Maya Brady camps underneath it for route number 1. And the action continues tomorrow night. Athletes Unlimited Softball League in Chicago heads to Texas for 7 Eastern first pitch. Catch it live on ESPNU, and you can also stream the game anytime on the ESPN app. And how about the Chicago Bandits win the series over the Blaze earlier today? Started the year 0-4. They're 4-1 since. They were in the championship series against this Talons team a season ago. Here's Rachel Becker, played her college ball at Oklahoma State after starting at Purdue. It's something that Oklahoma State program has become known for, being able to bring in top players in the transfer portal. Ruby Malin was one of them out in the circle. Came from Washington.
That's what we used to call Oklahoma State Transfer U. But they would bring in, you know, the top athletes. Miranda Elish from Texas. So a lot of great athletes that have played for Oklahoma State.
There's the 1-2 from Malin. And Becker goes around. Ruby Malin climbs the ladder. And we are scoreless after 2 here in Salt Lake City. A battle of offense and pitching. So far, it's been all pitching. Caroline Jacobson, the Talons right fielder amid action. Caroline, thanks for taking some time to talk to us.
Thanks for having me.
Get going in just a moment. Caroline, I want to start with the big home run for you down in Texas. How good that feel?
I mean, yeah, it felt pretty good. I think it's obvious I've been struggling a little bit at the plate, but you know, take it one pitch at a time. That's the whole thing about softball, right? I think one of the coolest things, though, was like my teammates, I feel like, never gave up on me, kept encouraging me the whole time, and that just helps you build confidence.
Yeah, no, we all get it. We've all been there before. What have been your adjustments at the plate?
Sorry, 1 second. Part of it is just pre-game planning. I think in that circumstance, obviously we've seen Nyjah pitch a lot. I've gotten to watch her a lot throughout her college career, and obviously knowing she throws rise balls, just looking for something up and in right there.
Here's Grace Jenkins at the plate, lines one to third. Jordan Woolery was waiting before that one hit the dirt.
So Caroline, when we talked to you after that home run, you said that you were looking in a window. Can you break that down and explain what that means?
Yeah, I think similarly to as I was talking about before, kind of we've seen her throw a lot and kind of know the general ways that she attacks right-handed hitters specifically, and kind of just looking up and in, and whatever that might be, we know we're trying to stay on top of the ball. I know she's going to try to get it up under my hands and to be on time to be ready for it.
Brady drops that one into left field. It's a 16-game hitting streak now for Maya Brady. Has recorded a hit in every game of her professional career. Caroline, to follow up on what Natasha was saying, your head coach told me earlier that with all the games that you guys are playing new pitchers, sometimes it's more about just having a plan at the plate than it is necessarily game planning for each individual pitcher.
Yeah. I mean, I think everyone that's out here is very elite. And so we do a lot of preparation before the games. Talking about film, I think that's something cool about having somebody like Hannah Flippen on our team who's seen a lot of these pitchers before, and then even a lot of rookie pitchers in this league. And so hearing from Jordan, people that have played against them recently, and just their opinions on what they've seen at the plate.
So this is your 4th year in AUSL. Just talk about what you have learned the most about yourself as an athlete.
Wow, that's a good question. I think a little bit of patience for one. I think as I've gotten older, just kind of becoming more calmer, kind of understanding yourself a little bit better, and kind of understanding the things that work for you best. And it's pretty crazy how even as like a senior in college, you kind of start to understand those things more and more.
Yeah, you know, definitely the transition, you have to understand your swing a little bit more. What are some of your top preparation things? So, you know, are you someone who hits off the tee? Are you a video person? Like, what makes you feel the most confident to be ready and prepared for a game?
Yeah, I'm not much of a tee person. I do like video though. I'm like a moving ball type of person. Kind of like to see it like that from the jump. But I do like to see video and kind of how the pitcher moves, how their ball moves. And I think that kind of gives you a chance to visualize yourself in the box against them. And even with video, we're lucky now we can go back and look at past at-bats, just being in this league for the past couple of years. That's a big advantage.
Here comes the 2-2 to Sydney Romero, who spoils another pitch. Romero, much like Maya Brady, been red hot for this Spark side lately. Caroline, you played for this Talons team a year ago, though now in home markets. How much fun has it been playing in front of these fans?
It's been awesome. They have showed up every single game. They showed up every game last year. So we were so excited. Yes, great job!
A double play ends the inning.
Yeah.
Caroline, thanks for joining us.
Thank you, thanks for having me.
The Talons defense shows up. Fouts out of another jam here in the third. How much fun was that experience?
So much fun. I wish I could do that every day and have that at home too. Looking my best. When you look good, you feel good. So, lots of fun.
Well, Ruby Malin can say both of those things right now. Looking good out in the circle, feeling good. She's throwing up a couple of zeros ahead in the count. Here to Caroline Jacobson, who just joined us a moment ago, alongside the two-time Olympian Natasha Watley. I'm Noah Frary. First of two here in Salt Lake City between the Oklahoma City Spark with the league's best offense, the Talons with the best pitching staff in the league, and so far pitching is won out, Natasha.
Yeah, pitching has been the dominant thing that we've been seeing. We've been seeing pitchers going the distance. Ruby Malin just having an incredible start. And one of the things I was thinking is when I saw her in college, I actually called her regional.
That one's down the left field line. It is fair. Jacobson makes the turn. She's thinking about three. They're going to send her home. Here comes Jacobson. The play at the plate. And obstruction is the call. Jacobson will score. And then there was an out call. The signal was made for obstruction. And this might elicit a challenge.
Yeah, for him to stick his arm out like that was what was just really confusing. And then he's like, no, never mind, she's out. So threw us all for a loop.
If you're a softball fan, the obstruction rule has been something that many of us have been confused about over the last couple of years. They have tried to clarify that in recent years. I do think it has helped. May have been a case there, too, where the home plate umpire, in this case, Smokey Eds, was maybe a little bit out of position because he worked up the line thinking that there might have been a play at third and then had to retreat.
That's a good point. That's a good point. And by the time he got back, he wasn't in the best positioning, but still confusing us.
And it's all worth mentioning. We're all humans, even the umpires.
Right.
This is the former Clemson Tiger, Maddie Moore. One of two Tigers on this roster. We talked to the other, Caroline Jacobson, last half inning. Moore getting the start at second base today. That's on the corner on the 3-1 pitch. Moore still trying to solidify herself as that starting second baseman. Her and Becker have split the playing time at that position.
Pitch calm. Technical difficulties.
Haley Lee out to talk to Ruby Malin, who's been pretty strong early in this outing. Came on in a tight spot in that final game of the Spark Cascade series, earned the save. There's the 3-2, low, and Maddie Moore is aboard. First walk issued by Ruby Malin.
And Ruby Malin has mainly just been working that drop ball. And what I was saying is I called her regional at Oklahoma State, and she started to incorporate this rise ball, and facing Stanford, the first game that they faced them had multiple pop outs, and is going to that drop more so now in this pro level, trying to keep the ball down a little bit more.
Nicole, what can you tell us about Ruby Malin?
One thing that you need to know about Ruby Malin is she is a competitor to throw with emotion, and recently she has been working on how to handle and fine-tune that emotion. In between innings, she is journaling and writing down what she sees, what she's feeling, what adjustments that she wants to make with the hitters coming up. She says it keeps her locked in and being able to stay fine-tuned with where she's at.
Malin starting to pitch her best here over these last couple of outings. Could this be her last audition, trying to keep a spot on this team, or perhaps for another team if she ends up going back to the reserve athlete pool? She was a player coming out of college that, if you went on Twitter, a lot of people thought she should have gotten a golden ticket. Did not hear her name called in that college draft, but having a chance to earn a spot on this roster now.
Yeah, and tonight's so important for her to make a case for herself. If she does go in that reserve pool, just having a good outing is so important. And if anything, she's, like Nicole said, she is a pure competitor and wants to level up and be 1% better every single time she takes the mound.
There's Taylor Beal, another of those athletes out of the reserve athlete pool. Did want to clear up one thing that you may have seen a few moments ago. We saw Amber Flores make her way out of that first base dugout, get to the first baseline, was told she could not go out there, and that's because you're only allowed one conference per inning. Haley Lee had already gone out to the circle. As Beal hits this one off the end of the bat, it will find turf. Moore going to be held at second. So Amber Flores was told that either she would have to take the pitcher out or she could go back to the dugout. She chose to go back to the dugout.
Right. And Taylor Beal, this is a drop in, just gets that bat barrel out. But what's been so impressive with the Talons this series and last series is the bottom of the lineup coming through. Caroline Jacobson getting things happen, obviously getting thrown out at home, but just putting the ball in play, hitting the ball hard, finding places where the defenders are not. Taylor Beal on first. Runners on first and second.
Well, and now the Spark are making the call to the bullpen. Peja Gould comes.
This has been their thing all season long, is relying on their pitching staff, and Peja Gould is a good complement to Ruby Malin. She'll mix more speeds. She's not going to throw it by you. 3 speeds, curve, drop, and changeup, and her fastest is her drop ball.
I think the biggest compliment you can give to Gould out in the circle, Jenny Finch said it back on the draft show when she was a pick in the college draft, she makes the ball dance.
Makes it move.
Relies heavily on that drop ball, not known for the big speed. She'll face Aaliyah Andrews here with 2 on and 1 out. Andrews grounded out sharply to short back in the first inning. Natasha, in this situation as a slapper, what are you trying to do?
Right now I'm thinking hard slap all the way. That curveball is something that I would want to sit, that last pitch. Thinking something to the green, left center.
Instead, lays down the bunts. It was almost a beauty. Just rules foul. Good job by Haley Lee to pounce on that and grab it while it was in foul territory.
And that could work too, a bunt. That's reading the D, making things happen. I like it.
You slappers had all of the tools in your tool chest. There's 1-2, swinging away for Andrews, and a nice tag by Wiz. It does allow both runners to advance, so Andrews does the job. Talon will have multiple runners in scoring position.
Yeah, I'm definitely not mad at that at all. That's a good, productive out, using the ground, moving the runners.
And now Alchin cues one foul. Moore has to retreat to third. The Talons offense really heated up down in Texas. Struggled against the Cascade in the series you and I did here over the weekend, but down in Round Rock, they looked fantastic. Alchin trying to come through. Hard hit off the glove, and that's going to score a pair. Jadlyn Alchin just continues to come through for Utah. They lead 2-0 here in the third.
And whatever it takes, and Asia Gold, she's not going to throw it by you. Just funky spin. And this is a screwball. Jadlyn Alchin yanks this outer pitch, and because of the speed is able to hook it on the right side, and this gets the job done.
Alchin has been raking at the plate since moving up into that 2-hole during the Volt series over the weekend. 6 hits now in her last 4 games. It's exactly what you want out of that spot in the lineup. Now Gould has to work to Jordan Woolery. Hard hits, it's fair. Alchin making the turn, she's coming home. They're gonna hold her up. Lee was ready, Alchin gets back to third. A late stop sign on the double from Jordan Woolery here with 2 outs.
Jordan Woolery so clutch here, but what also maybe even more clutch is Jadlyn Alchin being able to stop on that. But this is a changeup on the outside half, and Jordan Woolery gets that to the corner. Jadlyn Alchin is thinking that she's scoring, but sees that stop sign, able to get back. Close call.
I just love how many ways Jadlyn Alchin can affect a game with her glove at the plate, the speed that we just saw there.
Agree. Just a heads up, solid, complete player on both sides of the ball.
Nicole?
Oh, we just saw 2 back-to-back hard hit balls. These weren't flares, these were hard hits. These 2 Talon hitters, they were sitting that backdoor curve. They know exactly what Gould's go-to pitch is. And that, I think, is where Talons, they really have come alive in these last few games, is as a team, as a dugout, they have gotten together and really bought into their offensive plans and executed, as you guys just saw, really well.
Can they do it again here on the 3-0? Wyckoff had the red light, did not swing. Here's the 3-1. That's a strike, 3-2. Kaylee Wyckoff had some success against that Mississippi State pitching staff that Peja Gould was a part of, although it was off of Alyssa Faircloth, a home run in the SEC tournament. This time she'll drop one into the gap in left. 2 runs are going to score. Kaylee Wyckoff delivers for the Talons, who lead 4-0 here in the third.
Has got to have some of the most prettiest hands. Just take a look at her hand path on this, like not over swinging it, just getting her barrel there, keeps her hands inside, and this is just a beautiful piece of hitting. And that's 2 runs scored for the Talons.
All 4 runs coming with 2 outs for the Utah Talons. And let the merry-go-round commence. Wyckoff comes through, and Peja Gould's day is done. OKC going back to the bullpen as Gould ineffective. Utah getting through to this Sparks pitching staff. Lindsey Grind coming in. And this Women's Sports Sunday starts with the WNBA countdown at 6:30 Eastern on ESPN and features a marquee WNBA matchup as New York takes on Golden State at 7 Eastern. Watch on ESPN and Disney Plus and stream it all on the ESPN app. Third pitcher coming in, it's Lindsey Grind.
Lindsey Grind, more of a power pitcher. She's definitely got the speed. She can hit the upper 60s. More up in the zone with that rise and screw.
Grind was the standout in that Cascade series, earned her first professional win, then got her second in the finale. She was great in relief in that game that the Spark ended up winning late against that Cascade team in front of Natasha, what I think has been one of the best crowds that we have seen in the AUSL so far.
And it was so fun to turn on the TV and see that stadium, and just it was such an electric atmosphere, lots of fans in the stands.
A sold-out environment once again here in Salt Lake City. As Jaquish swings at the first pitch, deep into center, Brady takes a step in, makes the catch for the final out of the inning. But the damage done. Utah puts up.
And period before she got the call up, she was continuing to put the work in, just waiting for that phone call. That alone makes me want to keep her, and she's getting the payoff for sure.
Montana Fouts dealing with a mask issue. That's been about the only thing that's been able to slow down the Talons ace lately. Has had to work around a little bit of trouble early in this outing, but has settled in nicely, and now with some run support, it'll be interesting to see how she starts to go right at this Spark lineup. "52 pitches now for Montana Fouts. 4 straight complete games for her. Facing Delaney Wiz, who reached on an error in her first plate appearance. Fouts got the start in Game 2 of the championship series last year, pitched this Talons team to their first title, and has picked right up where she left off. The leader of the league's best pitching staff. It's really been remarkable what this staff has been able to accomplish early on in the year, Natasha.
I think it's not fair. I mean, one night you're facing Montana Fouts, and the next night you're going to face Megan Fremo. Like, okay, where's the break in that? Both just power pitchers. Both have said that they feed off of one another.
And don't forget about Taylor Tinsley, the UCLA Bruin, who threw every single pitch for the Bruins during their postseason run that ended in the Women's College World Series. All she did in her pro debut, complete game shutout, first rookie ever to do that.
And just what a fun night to watch her throw and just have so much fun. And I just think if I'm her, like, I can actually just be free, a little bit pressure taken off of her. She's got a lot of arms to support her. She doesn't have to carry the load.
Wiz drives this one deep center field. Andrews with a great read, a strong jump, and able to track that one down on the warning track in this cavernous outfield.
Yeah, you've got to love this field if you are Montana Fouts and if you're an Aaliyah Andrews. Just so much room. That's 235. If we're anywhere else, that ball definitely will get out.
That'll bring up Bubble Nichols, Camarena, who walked off of Fouts. Right back to Fouts. Flips to first. She's handled her PFPs well. 2 outs in the inning. And Natasha, I think the interesting thing is for this Talons side, they're about to get Georgina Koric back, who was the pitcher of the year. Look, there she is.
She is. She's made it back from Japan.
Had a great year over in Japan. We could see her activated in the days ahead.
Yeah, Georgina Koric. the 2025 Pitcher of the Year. And again, talking about painting corners, precision, like just a trickster. She's so crafty as a pitcher, and adding her to the staff, it just really doesn't seem fair at all. Like, as a hitter, my hitter heart is like, yeah, that's not okay.
There's Megan Faremo warming down in the bullpen as Sydney Sherrill fouls one back to the netting. I think the interesting part is you have all these weapons that are firing on all cylinders. How do you use them right now? Certainly, I'm glad that Sydney Ball Malone makes a lot more than I do. She'll have to make that call.
Yeah, and, you know, honestly, like, the good decisions that she gets to make. All talented pitchers, talented athletes that they can support this pitching staff, and also in that expansion staff. Montana Fouts, Megan Faremo, all of them were the protected athletes, so kind of just building this team around them. So can't go wrong with big pitchers in the circle.
Long run, Altschin not going to be able to get there. A year ago, the Talons riding great pitching, a really good defense to their first championship in year one of the AUSL. Pitching's been really good this year. Defense, I think, has left a little bit to be desired early for the Talons. Offense still trying to round into form with all the injuries that they're dealing with.
Yeah, and I think it just was taking the time a little bit for the Talons just to get the offense going. You know, I think about, you know, on their side, Savannah Jaquish, took her a couple of series to get into the groove of things. And so, you know, Brie Ellis started hot, but the rest of the Talons weren't really finding their swing. So it took some time.
Do you believe that it's the hitters or the pitchers who are maybe a little bit farther ahead early in a year?
I think the pitchers are always further ahead, you know, when you start. They got their best stuff. You know, good pitching always beats good hitting.
2-2, fouled off again. Just 9 games in for both of these teams here in the 2026 season. Just feel crazy to think that we are already a third of the way into this season. It feels like it just started last week. 2-2 pitch. Another ground ball for Sherrill. She's putting together a nice AB.
Yeah, just so scrappy. And again, the spark, you know, on the offensive side, and you know, I say that about pitchers always have, you know, the upper hand, and then there's, you know, someone like Amaya Brady that's been just electric, and Sydney Sherrill as well. Just so many great bats on their side, but still I think great pitching gets good hitting.
Inside, count full. Three-two pitch. Ten pitches already in this at-bat. Sherrill against Fouts. And there will be a 12th.
And Montana Fouts just going to her off speed. I believe that's the first time we've seen it today. Just trying to find something to get Sherrill swinging.
Fouts right down Broadway. Her third K catches Sydney Sherrill looking, and it's Montana Fouts.
Just the facilities, the things that, you know, maybe we didn't have when I was a player, for sure, playing out at the Cottonwood Complex, and then, you know, as a coach. So it's great seeing how far this program's come.
Coach, just talk about your time here in the Pro League. When we talked to GM Kirk Walker, he said, I just wanted to stack good people on top of good people and bringing you in, but just talk about your experience being here at the pro level.
Yeah, I can't thank Kirk enough. You know, when he called, I was like, I don't think I'm going to do that. And I'm so happy I said yes, because I'm having a blast. The players have been phenomenal, really fun to work with. I didn't know, you know, at this pro level, do they want to be coached? What am I supposed to do? You know, I can be a cheerleader with the best of them. but they actually want to be coached and they want some feedback, and it's made it really fun for me to be on the field with such elite players.
Just talk about some of the personnel, like who has impressed you and who's been fun to work with on the Spark.
Yeah, I mean, well, you look at Bubba Nichols, like really unassuming. She goes out there and she dives for every ball that she can get, and I think she's made some great plays for us. Obviously, Maya Brady, I mean, she's so fun to watch. I tell people don't go to the concession stand when she's coming out.
Right.
You're going to miss something. You know, she just covers a lot of ground. It's been really fun working with like Sid Romero. She's pro's pro, and you know, it's fun watching them do their thing. And Jesse Warren, who's like, Coach, I'm the best third baseman in the world. You know, put me out there, let me make some plays. So all of them have been really fun to work with.
Maddie Moore will step to the plate. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th inning. And pops one up to first. A quick inning. Coach, thanks for taking some time.
Thanks so much.
A 1-2-3 inning for Lindsey Grine here in the 4th. We head to the 5th when we... Well, see, Natasha Watley, we were not the only ones confused when Caroline Jacobson was tagged out at the plate back in inning number 3. Gotta love the access that the AUSL gives us to these incredible athletes. They're so gracious with that access, the players, the teams, the league. Here's Jessie Warren at the plate for the Spark.
Yeah, I loved just getting the opportunity to chat with her and just kind of get inside her head and just talking hitting. She's like, hey, I want to hit a moving ball. I'm not much of a tee person. I like video, being able to see myself. So a lot of great nuggets, and also I think just so good for a lot of young athletes to hear too, just how these athletes are preparing, how they're getting ready for games. Everybody has their own individual ways that they prep and that they get ready.
2-1 pitch from Fouts. Hard hit to first off the glove of Wyckoff, and Jessie Warren is going to reach. A pair of hits tonight for Jessie Warren, who really could use them. Our first multi-hit game of the year.
And Jessie Warren definitely hitting that 179 right now, is just trying to figure out ways to contribute, get on base, but hitting it hard. That's all you can ask for, and she's on first.
Looks like Oklahoma City considering a pinch runner in this spot. They'd have to use KK Madry again, and this would burn her from this game. She came in place of Warren earlier. This would be her second time exiting. Warren still would be able to re-enter. As Harper fouls off the first pitch.
You just got to remember that has to be in the same spot, the same sub.
So KK Madry over at first base for the Spark. Mari Harper so good during her Oregon career. And a really nice Pacific Northwest homecoming. Playing in Portland over the weekend. Had a really nice series as Oklahoma City took down the Spark, or rather took down the Cascade in 3 games.
Yeah, just another professional hitter and high IQ, loves to talk the game, loves to talk hitting. Her coach, Sam Martyr from Oregon, just said she is ready to hit at that next level, and I know that she's going to thrive and do well. She loves to learn the game and continue to get better.
An Oregon team nearly making the Super Regionals this year. Had they had Lindsey Grine, they may have been able to do that. She was out for that regional with the eye issues that actually put her in the hospital. Fortunately, she's back pitching in this game as Harper fouls that one off.
Yeah, that was just a sad story to hear of just, you know, that being how she ended her career at Oregon. So I was so happy to see her get this opportunity to come and be a pro and extend her career a little bit longer.
7th full count of this game for Montana Fouts. High, in the first 2 have reached here in the 5th. And coming up Thursday nights on ESPN2, Athletes Unlimited Softball League action continues as the Utah Talons head to Durham to take on the Carolina Blaze at 7 Eastern. Catch it live on ESPN2, and you can also stream the game anytime on the ESPN app. What a fun series that's going to be. The 2 top teams in the standings at the moment. As Haley Lee grounds to third, Woolery makes the play. A successful AB there for Lee as both runners advance to second and third.
Yeah, a good decision by Woolery. On the speed of this ball, it was a little bit slower, but KK Madry is so fast, so making sure she gets the out.
Back to that Blaze Talon series for a moment. What a matchup that's going to be.
It's going to be a lot of fun seeing Carlin Pickens potentially going up against Montana Fouts.
Very well could. Those 2 could be the leading contenders right now for Pitcher of the Year in this league. Carlin Pickens could be the Rookie of the Year. So much good pitching around the AUSL this year. Oklahoma City, first runner in scoring position since that first inning as Jenkins took a big hack. She was thinking about getting 3 back right there.
And that's how you got to do it. 2-0, hitters count. Hey, I'm thinking I'm swinging big.
2-1 pitch on the corner for Fouts. Fouts been rolling. Really, it's been the year of the pitcher here early. Just 8 complete games a year ago, 15 already at the third pole. Jenkins to left field, long run. Alchin on the warning track makes the catch. Tagging at third is KK Madry. OKC on the board here in the 5th.
And Jadalyn Alchin, we talked about how she's just been doing so great on both sides of the ball, and so much room, so much speed. That potentially maybe a slower outfielder that drops, but able to make that catch.
And I may have said there was only 1 out in the inning. That was the second out. Haley Lee had the successful sacrifice as Maya Brady steps to the plate. I don't think it's a stretch to say that Maya Brady is the hottest hitter on the planet right now. 16-game hitting streak. Average well north of 500. She was on this Talons team a year ago, was hampered with an injury that she sustained early in her season over in Japan, so didn't start playing until late in that year, had a big impact down the stretch, and now starring for OKC.
Yeah, I would say all the planets, you said on this planet, but she is like a star and just so smooth, effortless, so athletic, and can get it done in so many different ways, and very, very calm.
Hey, if there is life on any other planet, I think Maya Brady would still be a better hitter than they are. 2-1 to Brady. Spoils a pitch from Montana Fouts. That hit back in the third for Maya Brady, just the 3rd hit in her lifetime against the Talons ace. They met 3 times in college, twice in Clearwater, once in that Women's College World Series game that Montana Fouts spun a perfect game and gets Brady to swing out of the zone. Montana Fouts limits the damage. MLB TV. As we head to the bottom of the 5th inning here in Salt Lake City, a couple of defensive changes. Mentioned KK Madry coming in and pinch running for Jesse Warren. That would mean that Warren was not able to come back in this game, so Madry stays in the game, goes to right field. Beal fouls this one off. Amari Harper was playing right field. She came into second. Sydney Sherrill, who was playing second, is now at third. A lot of interchangeable parts for this OKC roster. Off to a 5-4 start, tied for third in the AUSL in their first year in the league. That's just off the corner to Taylor Beal. Beal had a hit earlier tonight, and for all the talk about how good her glove is, it's been a really nice fill-in at the plate as well for this Talons side. Sky-high pop-up to left. Oh, the Nichols Camarena is there for out number 1 as the lineup turns over. Aaliyah Andrews 0 for 2 tonight. Put a couple balls in play, nothing to show for it yet. Did she hold up on that first pitch? Little check to third, she did. You'd love to get Andrews on. She has all the speed in the world. A couple of stolen bases in the last series against Texas.
I just love her takes when she runs through the box. Like, she's always in control, always seeing the ball deep.
And that's the first base knock off of Lindsey Grine. She retired 5 straight since entering in the third. Andrews is aboard with 1 out here in the 5th.
Yeah, I believe those 2 prior takes sets this up. Just so in control and on time. Her being able to see that ball deep, it's that bat barrel out in the front, hits it up the middle.
Really have to be impressed with what Lindsey Grine has given you lately. She throws 4 and a third. Nearly finished the job against the Cascade in game number 3. Gave way to Malin, who had that save, but she's been a really nice weapon out of this bullpen lately for Amber Flores' side. Alchin off the end of the bat, drops 1 in, and she's got a 2-hit evening.
Just so much momentum for the Talons, and Andrews, you see her leaving to steal, but just trying to get things going, and Alchin just so clutch. I love the 2 of them in that 1-2 spot.
A circle visit coming for Grine, who was cruising. This Talons team missing a couple of their big boppers, but right now they're just finding ways to get runners on base.
Yeah, that was a big key for them in the last series, was getting the leadoff hitter on, and they've been able to do that here and there, and just trying to get runners in motion. Leadoff batters 1 for 5 tonight, but just being able to capitalize 2 for 4 for me, that stands out with runners in scoring position.
They hit .351 in that 3-game series down in Texas. Did the Talons against that Volts pitching staff that's been a little bit banged up early on this year. 31 hits for the Talons in that 3-game series down in Round Rock. No pitching change here. Lindsey Grine staying in for the moment with runners on first and second, 1 out. And Jordan Woolery at the plate. Little former Big Ten athlete battle right here. That still feels a little weird to say at times.
Totally.
Grine played at Oregon, Woolery at UCLA. And if you're not familiar with Jordan Woolery's game, led the NCAA in RBIs this year with 117. It was the 2nd most in NCAA history, only trailing Laura Espinosa's mark of 125 back in '95. As Woolery sends it to right, Madry makes the catch. Tagging is Andrews. She'll get to third with no throw. It's a really nice piece of heads-up base running by the speedy Aaliyah Andrews.
And Andrews, just a good read of Madry of where she was on the field, and just a little shaky of her read on that ball, but Andrews just knowing that that's the furthest point and knowing her speed. Runners on first and third for the Talons.
And why that becomes so important is now you're a wild pitch away from having Andrews come in and give you some much-needed insurance, as OKC is going to the bullpen again. They'll bring their fourth pitcher into the game, and we will have a season debut when we come back. Elena Vaughn debut here in 2026. Got into Salt Lake City at midnight, and now she's thrust into a big spot, 2 outs, bottom of the 5th inning.
Yeah, and not to mention she came from overseas in Japan, and that's a long flight, and gets the ball right away on her first day back. But Vaughn, just a little fighter. She keeps that ball down. She'll go on both sides of the plate. She's got some good speed. She's also got a great changeup as well.
Still some other pieces due back for both of these teams. Already showed you Georgina Korik in the building for the Talons. Could we see her activated in this series? Now Alchin was going. That'll go down as a stolen base for Alchin. So now 2 runners in scoring position. Looks like they're going to call that on the wild pitch. And a second wild pitch gets away. And that's where the speed of Andrews, the importance of tagging up at second, comes through.
That's the world of the difference. And I think that has been the difference for me for the Talons. From that first series that we called the Cascade series, they just weren't making things happen. They were trying to wait for things to happen. But Aaliyah Andrews getting herself in scoring position, getting 60 feet closer, and she scores.
Kaylee Wyckoff, another chance to come through for her side. Alchin 60 feet away at third. Wyckoff had the big RBI double back in the 3rd inning. Vaughn, the 5th round pick for OKC in the expansion draft. There was a total of 8 rounds in that draft. And unlike the approach that we saw Jamie Loprice have with the Cascade, who took a bunch of pitching early, we saw the Spark really focus on hitters. Vaughn was the first pitcher that they took in that draft.
They went for position players. They went for bats. GM Kirk Walker talked about he went for character first.
Wyckoff, a cue job. And Romero does enough to stick with it for the final out of the inning. The Talons tack on a run. It's 5-1 here in SLC. Fortunately for her, reinforcements are on the way, Natasha.
Absolutely, she's got backup coming for her, and just she's so resilient and a fighter. She could do it on her own, but I'm sure she's glad to know that she's got some arms coming to help as well.
Such an incredible story for Maya Johnson. First player ever given a golden ticket outside of the non-power conference programs. Such a special moment there when Jessica Mendoza presented that golden ticket to Maya Johnson. Her teammate Sydney Romero grounds to short. Beal snuffs out the opportunity for the first out here in the 6th. Getting late early right now for the league's best offense, Natasha.
Yeah, and right now is the time to continue to, put the ball and play hard. Sydney Romero, just not the best pitch selection there, and a weak ground ball. So some good pitch selection, sense of urgency for sure right now.
If you were a hitter in this situation, you're down by 4. Only 5 outs are still guaranteed in this game for OKC. What's your approach heading to the plate?
Definitely singling Montana Fouts to death. If I'm a righty hitter, I'm thinking right side. I want that curveball. I want to stay inside of it. So I'm splitting the plate, looking middle out. You heard this with Riley Boone, but looking visor down. So thinking of something on the outer half for sure.
Trying to stay within yourself in this situation. Wiz reached on the error back in the first inning, flew out to deep center field in the fourth. This OKC offense has been held largely silent by Montana Fouts. A season ERA of 1.91 right now for the right-hander. Her 1-2, and Wiz able to just stay alive. Nicole?
Earlier, before the game started, I was talking with Cindy Ball Malone, and what she said about Montana Fouts is there's times when she knows, okay, I can focus on my mechanics, and there's times where she just shuts that off, and all she focuses on is competing. You're seeing that day in and day out, pitch in and pitch out here this game, just doing a fantastic job moving the ball around.
Gets the ground ball here. Wiz is retired. Thanks for that, Nicole. I don't know about you, Natasha, but when I think about Montana Fouts and what she's doing this year, I think she looks as good as she has ever looked out in the circle.
And she continues to get better. And when we talked to her last series, she just says that she's just been really intentional about every single pitch, the movement, where she's placing it. And I think that that's been the difference for her. It's not that she's added more pitches to her repertoire. She's just focusing on what she has and strengthening those and getting better at those.
Good breakdown right there. That last pitch was her 100th of the evening. Pitch number 101 is fouled back by Bubba Nichols Camarena. Worked a walk off of Fouts. Oklahoma City stranding a pair on base back in the top of the first inning. Had a chance to get to Fouts early, could not take advantage of it. The age-old question, does good offense beat good pitching? Or does pitching stand strong tonight? The answer has been pitching. Lights just flickering on here at Dumke Family Stadium. Still plenty of sunlight here in beautiful Salt Lake City. Right-handers have been the kryptonite of this Spark side, although a 270 average isn't bad.
That's not bad. That's not bad. And just between Sydney Romero, Delaney Wiz, and Bubba Nichols, like the core of the lineup, those righties right there, just tough to face.
Hitting just 167 off of Fouts in this game. Nichols Camarena grounds to second. It's a 1-2-3 inning for the ace, Montana Fouts. Utah leading by 4. Chicago heads to Texas for 7 Eastern first pitch. Catch it live on ESPNU, and you can also stream the game anytime on the ESPN app. Chicago continuing to move up the standings. Texas just trying to find any bit of momentum right now. Just past the third waypoint of this 2026 season. Who's been your favorite team to watch so far, Natasha?
Oh, gosh.
Loaded question.
I know. Why'd you do that to me? Oh, gosh. I loved watching Cascade when they were here. They just have an aura about them. They just have energy, good chemistry. And they're like the new franchise, the new kids on the block, and they kind of play like that. So they've been fun to watch. How about you?
I think for me, it's been the Blaze.
Ooh. Why?
I've just been really impressed with the roster makeup of that team and the turnaround from a year ago. They were at the bottom of the standings in the 4-team league, and now they find themselves a half a game out of first place. And how about that battery?
Yeah.
Reese Atwood, Carlin Pickens.
Oh, it's like a dream battery.
And then you've got Alicia Ocasio, who you can literally put anywhere on the field, it feels like right now.
You got a good point. Okay.
Jaquish down the left field line. It's foul. That Blaze team will face this Talons team coming up in that signature series in Durham later this week. Following the conclusion of this series, it could be 1 versus 2 in the AUSL in Durham. There's Jaquish, ground ball. Nice play. Romero uses the dirt, and Jaquish beats it out. Romero did her best just to make that a play at first base, but Jaquish is aboard.
So hats off to Sydney Romero to even be able to have a play on this. This has a funky hop, so she goes in to go get the hop, but reads it, goes back on her backhand and bounces that ball, but speedy Savannah Jaquish, and the celebration is what got me.
Every hit means a little bit more here at the professional level. Jaquish is aboard. And you have to figure if they're this Talon side, knowing the firepower in that dugout over at first base, you'd love to tack on a run here with just a 4-run lead.
Yeah, you're just never safe with the Spark. They've got so many big bats. You've got Sydney Sherrill, Jessie Warren. I'm sorry.
Here's Becker, loops one over short. Back-to-back hits for the Talons here in the 6th.
Talons have it going on. Just past the bat mentality. Rachel Becker gets herself a hit.
This Talons team, 9 hits tonight, 40 over their last 4 games. Here's Vaughters' first pitch to Caroline Jacobson. Has to be careful here to Jacobson, just ask Nyjah Kennedy. Jacobson ambushing a pitch from the Volts ace in that 2nd inning in their series against Texas. Got a triple earlier in this game. Nearly an inside the park home run. And check out the turnaround for this Talons offense. Continuing to pour it on. That's on the corner. Cindy Ball Malone out of her dugout, going to go to a pinch runner here. It'll be Sarah Willis, who pinch runs for Jaquish, the catcher. I have to imagine Jaquish doesn't mind getting off her feet.
Yes, especially since she has legged one out and just the celebration, not necessarily a speedster, but getting it done.
And in a 4-run game, that run potentially at second looms pretty large. 1-2 to Jacobson, and shot that one into the Spark dugout. There's a little hole in the netting over there, and somehow Jacobson was able to push it through it. Inside, good take. This Utah fan base and their Thundersticks trying to get behind the Talons. 2-2 pitch, grounded to short. Romero goes to third. A nice play to get the lead runner as Sarah Willis is retired. First out of the inning.
And this is a good play. This is an elite play, although it just looks routine. Cindy Romero makes it look routine, but her ability to create a lane, Sarah Willis doesn't even hesitate trying to get there. Sorry, has good speed, and they get that force out at third.
Natasha, you were one of the greatest to ever play the shortstop position in this game of softball. What makes that play so tough?
Well, just playing the hop and also creating the lane for the throw. So sometimes you will cross up your third baseman. Your third baseman has to get back. So making sure that you're creating a lane on the outside to make that throw.
Pinch hitter at the plate in the form of Sarah Gordon, who was just called up from the reserve athlete pool when Charlize Palacios went on the injured list. Gordon up with the Talons for the 2nd time this year. And Gordon right back to the pitcher. Vaughter makes the play and turns 2 as Jacobson's unable to get back.
Getting the job done tonight and looks incredible.
Fouts with 4 strikeouts, eyeing a 5th straight complete game dating back to the championship series a year ago. She is just on another level right now. Her ERA has gone down in this start. It stands at 1.87 as we work here in the top of the 7th inning. Has a whip less than 1. As Cheryl, who had a really nice at-bat against Fouts earlier in this game. Back at the plate, it was a 12-pitch at-bat back in the 4th that ended with Fouts' 3rd strikeout of the looking variety. Cheryl to 3rd, Woolery to 1st, and there is 1 out here in the 7th.
And a little bit of D game. Jordan Woolery on the hot corner, making this look easy.
The Talons with a win would have a full 1-game lead over the Carolina Blaze for first place in the AUSL as KK Madry fouls that one off down the left side. Talons swept the opening series of the year against the Bandits. And then it was the expansion Cascade who came here to Salt Lake City and kind of shocked the AUSL with a sweep of the Talons. They then swept the Volts, trying to take the first of this 2-game set against the Oklahoma City Spark. Had a chance to catch up with Cindy Ball Malone before this game, and she said she is having a blast coaching this team right now. Helps when your offense has had 40 hits over the last 4 games.
And pitching staff she's got. Just can't go wrong with any arm you choose to give the ball to.
Talon set to go to Megan Faramo tomorrow. She is the projected starter. Faramo in her own right has thrown back-to-back complete games. Fouts eyeing a 5th straight. It would be the 6th straight by this Talons pitching staff. Here comes the 1-2.
And KK Madry being feisty, just going through the box nice and slow, but just a little long. So you want Montana Fouts to supply the power. All you got to do is just get your bat there. Easier said than done, but stay short to the ball.
As Madry goes down swinging, 2 outs in the 7th.
And Montana Fouts just again going to that dropout. It's the placement of this drop that just makes it so hard to even get a bat on. And that is strikeout number 5 for Montana Fouts.
Trying to sprint through the finish line. A first pitch strike here to Amari Harper. Fouts nearly untouchable once again tonight. Just 3 hits as she works with 2 outs here in the 7th. It's not much of a stretch to say that Montana Fouts is the best pitcher in the world right now. Having her best year as a pro in her 3rd season. A pitch away from a 5th straight complete game. Harper to center field. Alchin lays out. It hops off the turf. And the game will continue. Harper's been on base both of her last 2 plate appearances.
Just take a look at Jalen Alchin's approach to this ball, and you have nothing to lose but to leave your feet and go for it, but just a little bit short. Mari Harper gets the win on here.
It'll bring up Haley Lee. trying to keep this game alive. Don't want to get back to the top of the order if you're Montana Fouts. Because if she's the best pitcher in the world, Maya Brady is probably the best hitter in the world right now. Leanne Jenkins, who's on deck, would both have to reach to get to Brady. One misses. Fouts trying to go the distance. OKC trying to stage a 2-out rally. 2-1. Lee swings, and the Spark down to their final strike. Two from Montana Fouts. It's wide.
Just the location of those drop balls and the movement. Right now, she's still hitting 70. So that's a hard drop, heavy.
This sold-out fan base ready to erupt as Lee lives to fight another pitch. Give Oklahoma City some credit. Fighting to the end here in this 7th inning. The payoff pitch. And Joe Evans had to get out of the way of that one down in the third base coach's box. Amber Flores' side had a walk-off win in Game 3 against the Cascade over the weekend to win the series. Trying to stage another late rally. Cindy Ball Malone all smiles. Open Montana Fouts can close this one out. Next pitch will be 126 on the night for the third-year pro out of Grayson, Kentucky. 3-2 pitch. Ground ball to short. This should do it. Beal to second. And the Talons take game 1 of the series. And Natasha, another great performance from Montana Fouts.
And it is so fun watching Montana Fouts get to work. Another complete game, 6 consecutive complete game, 5 Ks. And she just looks like she's in control and that she is cruising. She looks really good.
The age-old question, is it offense or is it